Okay, this is week 7 and I will give you a very brief overview of ethics and corporate social responsibility. This lesson will be quite short as I'm very much aware that you're trying to finish off your marketing pitch as well. And with regards to that, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me about the marketing pitch, but I will also be sending out an email about this. Now, what we're going to talk about today is marketing and society, false wants and needs, obviously from a customer, social marketing, ethics and corporate social responsibility or CSR, course-related marketing, the reasons for course-related marketing, and then I will just briefly go through some current issues. As I said, this is not going to be a very long lesson, as I'm aware that you have to finish off some of your work as well. Now, marketing and society, as you can see, that marketing concept results in the production of goods and services that do not adequately correspond to societal welfare. So sometimes there might be marketing messages that are confusing and that might not appeal to all groups within the society, or that are not appropriate to all groups in the society. And it's very important with this ethically and also from a CSR or corporate social responsibility viewpoint that customer satisfaction needs to be there, but very often companies, all they have in mind is their profit and their own welfare rather than the protection of the customer, which obviously would be ethically correct to do this. Obviously, marketing also influences the consumer behavior. We talked about motivation and not being aware of needs in marketing, marketing messages creating these wrong or right needs for the customer, whereas you weren't aware of that you wanted something until you maybe saw an advert or saw a certain marketing message, and then you realized, oh, actually I really want this piece or this gadget. And if you think back to our first lesson, we all watched the video for the Mozilla phone, the Seabird, and after we saw the advert and after we saw the demonstration rather than the advert, we all said, oh, we'd like to have one of these phones. So, you know, it encourages people to buy more of a particular product, but obviously, you know, you might switch brands or try something completely new as well, if the marketing message is obviously relayed properly. And as I said before, you know, there are false wants and needs that are being created in people as well, because marketing obviously is there to convince you that you need something. I'm sure you're trying to convince your customers to stay in your hotels, you're trying to convince the customers to eat your food and to use your facilities. You know, even though sometimes you don't need it, or very often you don't need it, you just want it. And it's all about, you know, and very big within this is, you know, celebrities. Very often celebrities are being used in marketing. When you see a celebrity carrying someone, some people are really easily led by this. They want, oh, you know, this celebrity has this handbag, you know, Victoria Beckham has the latest handbag, I really want this. Again, if you think of, you know, the hospitality industry, foods, or also hotels are being advertised by celebrities. Oh, if a celebrity uses this or eats this, it has to be good. And also they've obviously created their own ranges as well. And the other thing is fashion. A lot of things are very fashionable, but then, you know, you get it, and then within 5 minutes they're out of fashion again as well. You know, again, as it says at the bottom, you know, there's a false hope. If you buy this, you could be just like me, and this is a lot like with the celebrities especially. So, you know, so you've got this, there's a problem, and I've got a solution for you for this, but obviously, you know, most of us know it's not, it doesn't really work like this. Okay, social marketing. Obviously marketing is for the good of the society. Well, that's what everyone tells us anyway. But obviously there are reasons, like, you know, certain messages that have to come across, like, you know, the non-smoking campaigns, the, you know, child abuse campaigns. If you realise something, please contact the child abuse line. Also, yeah, the Safer Sex campaign. I remember those, especially in the 80s, but still, they still have them, obviously, nowadays as well. So they have attempted to reduce drug use and obviously, encourage immunizations. Again, you've got the flu. I think there used to be a flu campaign as well. I'm not sure whether it was over here as well, but it was certainly, I remember it from being in Germany as well, where, certain people are being called to get immunized against, for the flu. Well, obviously, if the good example of the Safer Sex campaigns, if you think about these, there are obviously, again, certain issues surrounding that. Why not to say, rather than just saying use a condom, don't have sex, but again, it depends on, obviously, the people and the messages. But it didn't highlight the risks which were seen by some people as problems. So as long, even though you want to campaign for something good, it doesn't. You can't please everyone, and there's always going to be someone who says, "Oh, actually, your message you're trying to bring across is, I don't know, it's ethically not correct. It's confusing, but this has to be done as well." Okay, ethics. I've mentioned ethics before, and if you look at the definition, it's a set of morals, principles, values, norms, and standards that conduct the governing of an individual or a group. Very often, ethics are set by society, or mostly are set by society, by cultural backgrounds. If you do decide to go into your BA, and when you're writing a dissertation, there are a lot of ethical considerations there as well. So, what can you do? What's seen as you are being allowed to do? Are you allowed to do experiments? If you think about, for example, animal testing, is it good, is it bad? I'm against it, but some people say, oh, you have to do it. So again, there isn't a black and white message there. Again, when you bring marketing messages across, what can you do? What can you advertise? What can't you advertise? And a lot of these things, if you think about McDonald's and all these fast food chains, it's all to do with ethics. Are you allowed to advertise, I don't know, sugary drinks to children? Are you allowed to advertise, McDonald's directly to the kids? And there's a big discussion around that at the moment with regards to obesity levels as well. And then you've got corporate social responsibility as well. It's a company obviously very much influences as well how we react within society. So obviously also it realizes how it impacts on us, on society, on people who buy their products. So if you pump lots of waste into the Thames, and people realize know about this, and you're producing something people might not be buying your product anymore. And obviously CSR, as it's called as well, and I'm sure Travelodge and all the other hospitality companies and organizations are doing this nowadays as well, is obviously to maximize the positive impact and minimize the negative impact on the society. So make sure that you're seen as doing something good by minimizing something that might be negative, or avoiding something negative as well, like pollution or bringing across the wrong marketing message. You then have course-related marketing as well, which very much links into public relation or PR. And we see it all is support of good causes into charities, schools, and if you think about Sainsbury's, Morrison's, all these, I think Tesco probably does the same thing, in Asda as well. They all do something with school vouchers, and also very much supporting the arts. Sponsorship during events, it's a great thing. I mean, you're out there, people are there, they're enjoying themselves. That you might be selling your products or giving away samples of your products as well. You've got your banners up and everything, so it's a very visible thing. And then donations as well, and obviously that's going to be in the press, and it makes you look good. The thing is with CSR, and I'm always a bit of a cynic, and I've always said that to my other students as well. Is it great, or is it just a marketing ploy? You know, is it great to see that, I don't know, EasyJet spent so much money on planting trees, or is it just, you know, something they do to look good? So again, you know, it's not black and white. It's a double-edged sword again as well. The reasons is rising customer expectations. Obviously, you've got a lot of legislations, all been mentioned before. Shareholder requirements, consumer pressure, and consumer trends. And if you look at, for example, at Starbucks, all their stuff is fair trade now, especially their coffees. And they do a lot. And they do a lot of for local or for artists as well. Where I live, there are loads of pictures of them. They are being sold as well. So they support the art scene, and obviously they're selling all their fair trade coffee there as well. We like it. We as consumers like companies that do something for someone or for a good cause, because you know, we're easily influenced by it, and it shows us that companies care as well. So there are just a few examples here. You know, 88% of consumers are aware of cause-related marketing. 90% of course we think it's good for charities and causes. Of course it's good. You know, they get the money there. The companies are there. They make millions or billions, and they are the ones that can actually make a difference as well. And then, you know, companies are being perceived as more trustworthy and innovative. Well, let's hope it stays like this, because again, you've got a bit of a cynic. You know, if you're a bit of a cynic, you've got a bit of a cynical mind behind this as well. Obviously, there are current issues as to who you market and how you market to people. So if you look at children and elderly and vulnerable groups, you know, nicotine. I remember a time when cigarettes were still advertised on TV. They're not doing that anymore for ethical reasons, and children watch TV, and you know, same with the alcohol. Yes, they do still advertise alcohol, but only in the evening, so at certain times of the day. Confectionery, sweets. You know, how many adverts for sweets do you run during children's programs? You're not supposed to run them, because obviously, again, like with McDonald's, you've got this obesity issue here. And then the other things are finance, and we talked about the, you know, the sex and the sexual health adverts before. And as it says, you know, it's all the great things, it's all the good things, you know, where someone then said, oh, it's ethically not right to advertise McDonald's Happy Meals to children. And in Germany, they're now trying to get rid of the Happy Meals because of the fact that the toys sort of encourage kids to go for a whole meal rather than just, you know, a burger or something like that, which is obviously not the right food for kids anyway. Well, the thing is, you know, we have a choice. You know, we can make our own decisions of what's right and wrong for us. But, you know, if a company does something wrong, especially if it's a big multinational company, they're getting the blame for it. And even though we bought their product and we thought it was a great product, something goes wrong, the corporation is the one that suffers. So this is why a lot of ethics and CSR has to be in place, for especially ethics, for people to you know, to know and to understand that you can't just do anything, and you can't just sell anything to anyone as well. And this is again where the blame culture comes in. Although then, if you look on the other hand, you know, on the one hand you have the blame culture, but on the other hand, you know, are we living in a nanny state nowadays? Is everyone so scared of being sued as well that we have to be so ethically correct? Okay, that's it for today. So it's very short. And good luck with finishing off your with doing your marketing pitch. As I said before, please contact me if you need some help with it as well.